Hi guys, welcome back to the Nevermind Polly podcast. My name is Matt, I'm your host, and we chat to rock and metal bands from around the world. And this week we have got a very, very special guest, a guest that I have been listening to their records for the majority of today and also yesterday, and I still haven't finished it. I'm sorry, gents, that's the way I'm going to start this interview. I've got the lovely gents in the band Orme on the show. Have I said that correctly?
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. That's phase one out of the problem out of the way. How are we doing? How's things, everybody? Everybody okay?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah,
Awesome
Yes, very
stuff.
good.
Awesome stuff.
yeah. So we're sharing a microphone to this. It'll be like,
It's all good. It's all good. So I wanted to really start at the beginning because I feel like that's a really good place to start normally. But before we do that, I want to talk obviously a little bit about the self-titled record, which will be out very soon as this podcast goes out. So this will go out in April. This isn't being recorded in March. So podcasting land, it can be a little bit confusing. But any case, your brand new debut record, it's 95 minutes long. It's 2 tracks.
yeah.
It's a hell of a beast, to be honest. It's one of those things where I said in the pre-intro to this that I recorded earlier today that it was like the first couple of listens was like, nope, I'm just not getting it. Like, I know it's good, but it's like such a hard exterior shell to break. But I'm only now kind of getting a handle on it. So I want to know, firstly, why, and secondly, I do like it, by the way, just for clarity. I do like the record. It's just very difficult. Yeah. So what sort of inspired you to do the whole Doom, the whole drone thing? What's the reasoning behind that as a band?
Well, firstly, why not do it?
Absolutely.
I think I know at the start it was. I think it's because, well, when it started off with me and Luke, because we met at university, and we
For sure.
quite liked experimental music. We always wanted to do something together.
Mm-hmm.
And when we finally got in a room to do something, because we had no idea what we were going to do, it just came out as drone. Because I've been a huge fan of like bands like Bong for a while, and I thought, why not give it a go? And that, I think even after that first practice, I booked our first gig. For the year after, it's just like, we have to bring this to the people.
Amazing.
Whether they like it or not.
It's not necessarily what they want, but
Yeah, but
anyway.
but you know what? There is loads of like quote unquote popular genres out there. Drone, unless there's a massive shift in the popularity of drone, I don't think it's ever going to be that. So just being the best at what you guys do is probably the next best thing that you can kind of do. And like I say, it's a very difficult record, but it's so rewarding. It's like once you kind of like, and so I don't like to sort of talk too much about the PR side of it, but in the press release, it's sort of someone has written there saying it's a bit like going for some good album to listen to on a long dark drive. I mean, to be honest, I would probably go and like do some dodgy shit to that because like it's very moody. It's a very moody record, but that's a good thing. If you're a fan of like metal and things, it's just great.
With that little sentence, I think afterwards we're like, wait, we don't actually want people driving and listening to this because it could be very dangerous. Even when we've been like re-listening to over and over again, we'll end up zoning out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would advise, don't listen to it while you're driving.
Certainly not while operating heavy machinery.
Yeah,
unless you've had like a nice long sleep and you're like, right, okay, I can do this.
If that's not printed like where they say like the parental advisory sticker, like do not handle the machine while listening to this band, then you're doing something wrong, I think.
Lull you into death.
I mean, that's the next album title, Lured into Death, surely. Like, there you go. You can pay me the royalties on that one. So I wanted to talk about kind of the early years in you guys in terms of growing up around music, because I said this on a podcast I've done a couple of days ago. I don't trust, I don't understand people who don't like music. I understand some people they don't have it, but for me personally, it's such an integral part of my life that I just think people are like, what do you mean you don't? What do you mean you don't like music? Or like, yeah, I'll just listen to whatever's in the charts, which is fine. I'm not a chart hater, but do you know what I mean? It's like, strange. So where did your journey sort of begin in terms of musicianship?
Start with me.
Yeah.
Just playing guitar at 14, and then because I think when I got into music, for me it was mostly like classic rock, like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, all that kind of stuff, and then getting into punk. But then when I think for my first band, we were like a rubbish sort of grungy band, and that was a big learning experience, and it's just been developing ever since, really. So I think actually when I was in that band, started getting more into stoner rock, doom metal, all that kind of jazz. And that's pretty much been stuff along those lines since for me. I mean, I think all of us have quite wide music tastes, so it's not just, I don't just listen to stoner doom or whatever. There's like more experimental stuff, more I don't know, like ambient, like post rock or other things. But yeah, that's me quickly summing up.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Do you want to go, Luke?
Yeah, all right then. What was my story? Yeah, no, I'm not totally sure. I remember I started playing piano at an early age, and then I was playing drums not too long after that. But yeah, I mean, just yeah, it's just always been there. But yeah, I was into a lot of rock early on, and then sort of as I aged, when moved further and further towards metal. But yeah, still a lot of prog rock and a lot of math rock and that sort of thing for me. Being a drummer, it's time signatures and all that sort of thing are what really excites me. So
Nice.
To be fair, we have forced a lot of metal on you since you joined.
I didn't really I don't come from like a musical family background or anything like that. I think I'm the first musician in my whole family, to be honest. But I got into metal around the age of 15, 16. It was sort of a brief flirtation with the new metal stuff, and then not long, I think the second album I bought was a Deicide album. So I went from Slipknot straight to Deicide and just forgot about Slipknot. But yeah, I mean, I always said I want to, because I would hang around with musicians and stuff. I used to hang around with Rao from Enter Shikari back in the day, but used to get sort of patted on the head you'll never be a musician kind of thing. Yeah, I know, but showed him. But but no, I mean, my friends started getting me into sort of slower stuff, and then just graduating, you just delve more and more and more and stuff, and just kind of just always really liked the bass and just kept going with it and kept exploring different stuff, and then found Tom eventually. And then
I love that. I was going to say the fact that you guys have sort of cross references in terms of stuff that you listen to when you're growing up, things like Pink Floyd and things like that. It does make some sort of sense, because there is a lot of like I say, it's a lot of revealing. That's probably the word of the day in the terms of this podcast is that it kind of goes through passages, and it's such a lovely thing and don't get me wrong, people who listen to this podcast going, oh yeah, I'll check them out, do not be put off straight away. That's why we went there. So just work with it, because it takes a certain type of, if you're listening to, I don't want to write anybody off now, but should we say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of chuck me a mainstream rock band. I'm trying to think.
Bring Me the Horizon. That's the
there we go. There we go. Bring Me the Horizon. You're going to potentially have a bit of not a bad time, but you might struggle. You might be like, oh, okay, this is a different end of the schedule. But it's all for the love, which is really, really cool. So I wanted to ask, are you guys planning on taking this on the road and things? Because I'd be really interested to see it live. That all said.
Yeah, no, I think definitely this is something I think it's definitely something you want to experience live, because it's completely different from just hearing it on record. When you're there live, you feel you feel the frequencies, and people have been trancing out to our sets. Like I had a mate of mine who saw us twice. The first time it was just like, I didn't realize you were on for half an hour. I thought it was like 10 minutes. And then the second time he saw us before we went on, he said, right, yeah, so right, I'm not gonna zone out to this. I'm not. And then we looked over at him during the set and he's just going, but yeah, no, we are taking this on the road. So we're doing our album launch at Helgies in Hackney, probably my personal favorite bar in all of London. It's like if a Hammer horror film became a bar.
Best bar in London.
Yeah, in our opinion, yes. Other bars may vary, but but yes, we're doing that, and then we've also been confirmed for a show at Felfoot Woods up in the Lake District. That'll be in May.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to that because we've wanted to. I've wanted to go to Felfoot Woods for a long time, so that'll be exciting. And then we have, I know there's another show, Rotherham at Rotherham at the Hive. It's not been announced yet, but that'll be a good one. That's the week after our album launch, and then we're just seeing what else comes through and trying to get other gigs booked as well. So hopefully if you would like to come see us live,
absolutely, I'm going to try my darnest to be there. That's for sure.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
No, absolutely. I was going to say, I want to know as well, because this record is a vibe, and that's the thing. It's a very atmospheric, very vibey record. How do you guys, as three people in a band, get into that headspace, that vibe? What is your kind of influences, like big and small, to get into that headspace?
Well, I know for at least me and Jimmy, there's like the kind of I know sort of like horror film influence as well, and like just listening to a lot of like weird bands as well, and just I don't know when you do it. I don't know when you just do it. You get
like a meditation. Kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like meditation. Like you just when you do it, you just suddenly get in that zone. So even when we've gone a long time without practicing, we'll have like one practice, like one will start droning away, and we'll just going, oh god. So yeah, I mean it just happens, really, doesn't it? Yeah, really.
It's a bit easier for me because I don't start drumming for.
I was then about to say you have a lovely little 10-minute before break when everyone else is on stage. You're like, I'll be on in a minute, lads. Just let me do my stretches.
Yeah. I get to do a little meditation at the start of every set.
For sure.
It's very easy to sort of get into that vibe when these two are droning away, and I just sort of drift off. And then I'm like, oh no, I have to actually play at some point.
So my question is not to throw you under the bus, Luke, but how annoyed would the other two be if you just completely missed your cue after sitting there for 6.5, 7 minutes?
Well, I mean, in most instances, I am the cue, so
oh, that's all right then.
They don't do anything until I start.
That's fair. So I want to ask, right? And you guys are British, right? I've got that correct. Yes, amazing. Because sometimes people don't, other nations don't understand my British humor, and my sarcasm, more to the point. So when I'm a big famous podcaster and I can have all of the bands that play my dream festival, basically, because they've all been on the podcast, they're all mates of mine. You can all come down and have a good old time. I'll tell you what, it'll be an eclectic bill. That's straight off the bat. You guys, I'd like to know, what would you like to add to the Dream Rider? So currently, and again, this is going to get long on our list by the end of the year. We've got things like sushi. We've got beanbags on there. We've got white wine. In fact, so I had an American deathcore band on, who, shout out of Sulphur, who are brilliant and lovely. They said to me, we want a petting zoo, like a full-on petting zoo, right? Now, I don't know if it's because he was American, he didn't quite get the concept of a petting zoo. I said, what would you have in your petting zoo? And he said, yeah, like a koala. And I was like,
Fair enough.
it's your dream, mate. You can make it happen. But I didn't know that was there. So what would you add to the Dream Rider? I mean, you can have one each if you
Yeah,
want,
we
because there's
don't
3 of
get
you. So.
offered nice things, so it's a bit of a curveball.
I mean, I don't know, maybe a little private cinema.
Yeah,
Private cinema. Have
nice.
watch really old Hammer horror films on it.
Yeah, like a projector with a
Mm-hmm.
canvas and some old school like Hammer horror films and some like silent films like
Plenty of popcorn as well. Loads of popcorn.
I was about to ask, what is your go-to snack for cinemas? Because I think cinemas, like long time, have basically got it wrong because they give you crisps, popcorn, like nachos, anything that's super fucking loud. They don't give you like something that's not quiet. So what is your go-to? Is it just popcorn normally?
For me, it's popcorn. Yeah.
Are you a sweet or a salty man?
I'm both.
I mean, that sounds like
a
weird question.
I swing both ways.
I like those aero bubble things that you get.
Amazing.
They're
Yeah,
quiet and they're just they're nice. I can't stand popcorn. So
I was going to say Aero is an underrated chocolate bar, in my opinion. It slaps. So I'm with you on that one.
I noticed your girlfriend the other day mentioned about it was like a Halloween podcast about Milky Ways as well.
Yeah,
my wife picked up on it. It's when I was saying she picked up on it another time. She's like, "Yeah, I love Milky Ways." I was like, "You never buy a Milky Way in your life."
Literally,
only when you get them, you're like, "Oh yeah, those are actually good."
So we went this is totally unpodcast related, but just because I thought I'd say because you brought it up. We went to Aldi shopping the other day, and we got like the bag of like the knockoff chocolates you can buy, like a 32 bag, like the little treat size. So good. Just talk about Milky Ways. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I love that.
Wait, what about you, Luke? What would you want for your rider?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I don't know. I do like nachos at the cinema though. I don't care about anybody else's experience. As long as I can have nachos, I'm fine.
That's a typical drummer response. I don't care about anybody else. I just need my shit sorted first.
Yeah. As loud as possible as well. That's another drummer thing.
Yeah.
Here's my silent aero bubbles
I love that. I love that. And also, so now that I'm a dream promoter and all the rest of it, I have access to every band who is around at this point in time, and I can book you on a 3-band bill. What bands are you having on the bill?
I might hand this over to Jimmy because I think you've had a few ideas of your dream.
You go first. I need to think.
Oh God, actually, that might. I'll go to you.
Oh no!
I don't know. It's just so much choice. I mean, any band.
But it's got to be a band that's like still about.
It's got to be a band that's active. That's the only rule.
I would say Yob. I think we'd set
Yob,
everyone up really nicely to be devastated by Yob.
Yob was such a great band. I fucking love Yob.
They're super cool guys and like massive, massive inspiration. Many walks of life, really.
I might add to that.
Yeah. Nice.
You get a third choice then.
I'm gonna display my my lack of knowledge of doom bands now. I think well, I mean it's going to be a bit of a left field answer, but I mean I might go for the Mars Volta.
I knew you were going to say Mars Volta.
That was well out of left field. I love it. That's great. I was going to say,
ideally early Mars Volta, but you know, I'll take new Mars Volta.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of having mixed bills. I think if you have like the same bill of the same sounding bands, it's like, yeah, cool. But like no one's really learning anything. No one's getting exposed to something different. It's just the same genre, if you see what I mean. So that's super cool. I love that. And speaking of that, so I'm pretty sure it was the last Dying Fetus tour they just did. They had the hardcore band Nasty play with them, which I think is just like fucking great because the load of death metal kids are just like, what the fuck? Why is everyone doing like karate? Like, what's going on? Which again is just like, it's just fun. I like that a lot. That's cool. Is there anything that you would like to say to the people listening at home, people watching this on YouTube about your bands? Just in a sentence, if you can, just try and sum up what you guys are about and what people can expect for the future. I said this wasn't going to be an interrogation, but I feel like it is now. Sorry, lads.
Put us on the spot now because you do it.
just sit back, chill, and immerse yourself in it. Just don't think about what's coming next. Just lose yourself in it. Don't think. Don't do anything. Just let it be whatever it's going to be, and stick with it, because there are like, you know, we reward the journey kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You know, and like that's, I think, the best way really that I can describe it.
Yeah.
Gents, thank you so much for your time. Have I missed anything? Is there anything that I need to ask, to plug, to sort out? I generally have it normally pretty nailed down, but just in case I've forgotten something really massive or major.
I think keeping it depending obviously when this podcast comes out, so the pre-orders should be out by then. So
this will go out. This will go out like the second week of April.
Oh, okay. Well,
just before the album drops.
Yeah. Well, we should have the pre-orders out by then. So yeah, we'll be having some bundles as well, because it's coming out on CD and cassette.
Amazing.
Oh, and we have t-shirts as well, but not just ordinary t-shirts. Glow in the dark t-shirts.
Love that.
So if we want to grab your hands on some really cool t-shirts, that'd be awesome. Album launch at Helgies if anyone wants to come. It's free entry as well, so you don't have to pay anything silly to get in.
If you don't like it, just walk out peacefully. Don't be a prick and start shouting stuff at us, because
absolutely.
Before.
Has it really?
And I'll quite happily tell you to fuck off, quite frankly. You know,
I think
when I'm finished, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always when we finish, it kind of ruins the flow if you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although we have had some shows where like it started off quite crowded and we've all been a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
And then after 10 minutes of our set, people realize that we're not just sound checking.
Yeah.
but then you're left with the dedicated people who are just like, whoa, yeah, I get this.
You know what? I will end this podcast on this little anecdote, which I think is brilliant. And you know what? It's going to annoy me because I'm quite good friends with the band in Conjurer, the guys in Conjurer, right?
Oh
yeah. They played Bloodstock, right? And literally while they were sound checking, they just done I don't know, 30 seconds of just pure riffing, and then Brady just went, "Yeah, thanks for calling Conjurer," just walked off, and people genuinely thought that was the end of their set. They just played 30 seconds, that was it. Connor's gonna love he got a shout out on this podcast again. He's been on 3 times. Give me a break.
The gig that we're playing in Rotherham, we're playing with their original bassist. He's
amazing.
A band called The Grey, who are brilliant.
That's old Andy. What's his face? His name isn't.
I think so. It's something like that, but it's Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, yes, I have him. I have him on social media. That's why my brain just went, "Oh, I know that band. Yeah, nice."
Yeah, check
absolutely.
Yeah, no, they're amazing.
And they're good guys as well.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Well, thank you so much for your time, gentlemen. I wish you all the best with the album launch and everything else. I'm sure people will lose their mind over it, which they should do. And like I say, is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to say at the end?
There are riffs in it. Just watch, just listen, just wait.
Yeah, have
absolutely.
riffs. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're fucking devastating. So do it.
And they're good. They're good riffs as well, I have to say.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to say it's a rewarding listen. Anyway, my name's Matt. You guys have been you. This has been the conversation with Orme on the Nevermind Polly podcast. Thank you so much. We will see you next time. Peace. I'm going to do the applaud thing. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. I mean, that's why you buy a soundboard, just to do that. Anyway, right, I'm out of here. See you soon.